safer, she was happier, everything was better, but then we bring the wolf in and things are bad again. So that's a positive position relative to the whole rest of the picture plane. The bottom half of the picture feels more threatened, heavier, sadder, or constrained. Objects in the bottom half also feel more grounded. So let's imagine in the earlier one, if something else comes into the picture, there's a good chance it's going to come into the lower half, and the triangle is going to be above it. The triangle is going to be safe. And if something else comes into this picture, odds are it's going to come in the top half, and the triangle is going to be vulnerable. It could get squished or stepped on or smushed, okay, or smothered. So that bottom half, bottom corner, is a vulnerable spot for the triangle to be sitting in. The center of the page is the most effective center of attention. It's the point of greatest attraction. Any of you, has anybody studied photography, how to make and compose good pictures? There's a thing called the rule of thirds. And one of the things they say is, if you've got this picture space, you divide it into thirds, and if you want to take a picture of somebody and have them be sort of the focus, you don't put them right in the middle. You put them there, or there, or there, or there. So there's something about the placement in a picture and the rule of thirds that these are the spots. These are sort of the prime spots of attention and power. So this is running counter to this claim here that says the center of the page is the most effective center of attention, is the point of greatest attraction. And so why that is then inconsistent with the claim about photographic composition of the rule of thirds, I don't know. I just know that there are two different views in terms of where you should place something if you're doing a photograph. What happens when the focus of attention is shifted away from the center of the page? And it's a good question. The edges and corners of pictures are the edges and corners of the picture world. White or light backgrounds feel safer to us than dark backgrounds because we can see well during the day and only poorly at night. We associate red with blood and fire. What things in nature are either black or white? We feel more scared looking at pointed shapes. We feel more secure or comforted looking at rounded shapes or curves. There's a nice rounded shape. They embrace us and protect us. The larger an object is in a picture, the stronger it feels. The same figure appears much more vulnerable as it did made very small. So over here, this red triangle, it's pretty strong and powerful. And that purple band at the bottom, stability. But now we've got a very vulnerable little red triangle sitting there. This picture contains a space all its own. We exist outside the picture.
Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, I missed that. We exist outside the picture until our eyes fix on and capture an object inside it, like a prey, but the prey in turn draws us to itself inside the picture space. So in this one here, we are outside the picture, and in this one, suddenly we are sucked into the picture. Space isolates a figure, makes that figure alone, free, and vulnerable. The overlapping object pierces or violates the space of the other, but this also joins them together into a single unit. Okay, so what you had were a whole pile of supposed psychological effects upon you in a simple picture plane with nothing but shapes, okay? There are people who would disagree with some of this, but this is rather widely accepted by a large number of people who have studied great volumes of primarily Western art. And so everything in this book and everything in Rudolf Arnheim's book about psychology and art is largely very well received. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things you can do then is you can say, okay, I'm going to look at a picture. It's an ad for something. It's a product. It's a good. It's a service. And you can apply some of these principles, and what you'll be doing is you'll be using a vocabulary that is pretty widely shared by a lot of people. And even if you say, okay, you try and apply these things, and you make these claims about the picture and say, but guess what, I really don't feel that way. This big triangle down the bottom is not making me feel stable. There's something else in the picture that's making me feel unstable or threatened, or I find it unattractive, or the colors are jarring, etc. So it's not like these are absolutes, but they're pretty well grounded in the observations of many, many people looking at many, many pictures that are spanning several thousands of years worth of art and how it makes people think and feel. Okay? Any questions about that? All right. Introduction to theory of form. Okay, so what we're going to do now, it's 10 of 8. Why don't we take our break now from 10 of 8 until 8:05, and we'll come back at 8:05, and you're going to do another visual analysis exercise. You'll be doing it in teams now, so we'll have at least probably 2 teams of 2 and maybe 1 team of 3, unless Jamie shows up, and then we'll have 4 teams of 2. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick a picture from one of your packets and try and apply these principles. And you'll have access to the computers. You'll have it be able to get back at these things and try and see the degree to which form is appearing in the images that you're looking at, and you think is helping explain the power or the impact of the image on you. All right? So let's take a 15-minute break.